number one then, and number one now.
You're listening to Heffron and Reep.
Heffron and Reep.
Rated #1 podcast by the World Podcasting Federation and the Podcast Ranking Association. No, for real. It says it right here.
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's Jon Reep here, and it is, it's August the 8th. As you know, it's 2022. It's Monday, 7:31 p.m. I'm going live right now. You're about to watch another live Heffron and Reep show right now. That's what we're doing. What is the Heffron and Reep show, you might be asking yourselves? Oh, I see people popping in because we're live. I see Andrew, Michael, Evan, Sullivan, JJ, Brent, Andy Almond, Tanya Morgan, Kevin, George, everybody. How you doing? Some people who might be new to the show might be wondering, well, what is Heffron? And what is a Heffron and a Reep? Well, it's a live podcast. It's also on YouTube and Facebook. It's live. And I'm Jon Reep. That's the Reep part of Heffron and Reep. John Heffron's the other part. We both won last comic standing. We're We're journeymen. We're road dogs. We're out there. We both love the 1980s. And this is the Monday night hour of power. That's right. No politics. No pandemics. No Putins. Just pure pleasure. Sometimes promo codes. And yet that's what's up. But here's the deal. We're kind of short-handed today. There will be no John Heffron today. Just found out right before we went live. I'm like, well, a couple things. Number one, John Heffron's not here. Number two, our studio producer, the Alan Jackson, has got the COVID. So he's not here. He is actually producing this from his home. He's quarantined by himself in his den of pleasure somewhere in Hickory. And, it's John Solo. Right, JJ? Not Solo Reep. John Solo. So, yes, it's a John Solo show. But let's check in with Alan Jackson real quick and see if we can get the lowdown on him, his status, and maybe John Heffron. The Alan Jackson. You just want to say hey real quick and let people know that you're alive, and yeah, there he is.
I'm here. I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, he's alive. He's hanging in there. Did test positive for COVID. Doing the right thing. He's at home. You got it, Friday?
Got it Friday, so I'm just counting the days here. You know, it's all good though. Feeling fine.
Did you have a high temperature?
I did. Yeah. High temperature.
What were your symptoms mostly?
High temperature, a lot of congestion, sore throat, headaches.
I can hear the congestion a little bit.
Oh yeah. I'm still congested pretty bad. So
but
I'm already feeling better. I mean, yesterday was pretty bad, but today I'm feeling better. I'll be all right.
And we've both been vaccinated, so it is what it is at this point.
You're just gonna get it. I mean, it's like I had to do a work at some big work conference last week. It's like 900 people surrounding me. I'm like, well, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. I mean,
this is where you would do it. Yeah.
This is it. Yep.
So thanks for still working, even though you got the vid, still working from home. Man. And, real quick, what we're going to talk about today, because I see the comment section. Olivia Newton-John, R.I.P. That was sadly she passed away today. We'll get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. I know that was she was a big thing for me and you. So we are big fans. So
International Cat Day. Alan, you got cats over there?
We have one cat. I don't claim it, but my wife has one. So yeah.
Well, perhaps the cat would like to join us for International Cat Day. Is it from another nation?
No.
But then we can't. Doesn't qualify.
No. Sorry. Can't. No. Yeah, she's not available.
It's not National Cat Day. It's international. No. Yeah.
Right.
They're going to make a live-action Pac-Man movie. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, once we get our other guest on here, because I do have a substitute guest for John Heffron. And we're also going to talk about Dave Matthews. Something happened on this day in history with Dave Matthews and sewage. Yeah, we'll get into all of it. Plus, this day in history, something happened pretty historical, 1988. And Netflix, I'm watching it right now. It's called Trainwreck, and it's about Woodstock in 1999. You have to see this. Have you, Alan? If you're stuck at home now,
I was gonna say I got another couple of days of this, man. So I'm gonna cue it up. That sounds great.
But let's talk about why there's no John Heffron. Do you know what? I knew that he's back on the road,
right?
But that doesn't usually stop him. Usually.
Well, he sent in a video. I think to kind of explain where he is. You want me to play that? Would that be all right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's play the video.
Right. Here we go.
Hey, John, sorry I couldn't be on the podcast today, but I'm actually in Toledo, Spain. And since I'm in another country, I decided to, really see what the locals eat, really get engrossed in the Spanish culture. So for lunch, I've decided
Pizza Hut.
I believe it's what they call pizza. It's a big cuisine here, so I'm looking forward to that. And then later, we're going to this place here in Spain called Starbucks. It's a coffee place. I like to travel and do things I wouldn't normally do in the United States. So,
wow.
I'm at Toledo, Spain, and I'm probably going to eat at Popeye's chicken, just to change up my life a little. I'll check back in with you.
Okay.
Hola.
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 Buenas noches.
Hola.
Wow. I can't tell if, well, first of all, you might not know this about John Heffron. He's a very picky eater. He has the palate of a third grader. Yes. I'm talking chicken fingers with ketchup, French fries. He gets cheeseburgers. I mean, hamburgers plain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now he's in Spain, arguably one of the best food cultures that you could be in. And of course, he's going to eat Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Starbucks.
He sent one other video. Let me just show you this one.
Okay.
It's kind of on the whole food thing, I think. So here.
Yeah.
I'm also having a hard time to decide what unique Spanish food I'm going to go with today. I can't decide.
McDonald's, Burger King, and then
which unique
Taco Bell.
I'm going to go with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's more depressing, John not trying local food or the fact that there's that in Toledo, Spain.
Wow.
It's there. We've taken over. That's too Americanized. But what say you, Alan? Do you like to enjoy the cuisine when you're in other places?
I do, but I do get a little nervous doing it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know, John, you travel or even just around the country here. And I know if you're like me, it's like, yeah, I'd love to have some local cuisine at places, but I also sometimes just want something I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I'll sometimes still go to an Annabelle's or Applebee's, even though I'm at another city.
Ooh, I like the Freudian slip of Annabelle's. In Hickory, we had Annabelle's.
That's a Hickory thing. Yeah.
And they had 10-cent wings.
Oh, it was so good.
On Wednesday night, you could go in there and get one chicken wing for 10 cents or, 10 for $1.
That place was so great. I miss that place every day.
It was in the mall, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Right inside the mall.
Oh, man.
Double-decker restaurant, 2 levels inside the mall. Man, it was awesome. Yeah.
So, well, I hope John's having a good time. I think he's over there because his wife's family, there's like a grandkid someone over there, one of his wife's daughters, I think, lives there or moved. I don't know the whole story. I'm sure Jon told me, and I didn't retain it. But yeah, he's having a good time. It looks like. So that's why there's no Heffron tonight. But we do have another guest that we'll have on here in a second. But real quick, if you were in Sharpsburg, Kentucky, hello. Good to see you. This is not Country-ish. This is Heffron and Reep. Country-ish is tomorrow night, and we will be going live, I do believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an all-new Country-ish. So I was in Sharpsburg, Kentucky this Friday night with Larry the Cable Guy. We had a good time. So if you were out there and you came to our show, good to see you. Thanks for coming here. My next gig, though, August the 19th, baby, I will be in Bristol, Tennessee at the Paramount Theater. Me and Reno Collier, Reep and Reno show. So get ready for that. If you're in Tennessee, Bristol, come see us there. Tour dates at jonreep.com or heffronandreep.com. Then from there, on the 20th, I will be in Alpharetta, Georgia. That's right outside of Atlanta at the Green at Crab Apple Market. And then on the 26th and 27th, Fort Worth, Texas at Hyenas. And one of these shows, I'm doing 4 or 5 shows. Gingers will get in free to one of those shows. Not sure which one yet, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so there we go. Go to heffronandreep.com for more tour dates, merchandise, and you can become a Patreon supporter. You want to help the show out? You want to help us grow? You want to help us keep the lights on and get Alan back to health and Jon back to America? You go to heffronandreep.com, click on Patreon, become a supporter, $5 and up. Help us out. Any level will be great. We have some shout-outs for our Patreon supporters. Brenda Sachs, Steve Dean, Joey Ellis, Shane Flint, Bob Haynes, Rick Sanford III. What is up? Thank you. We have a new, we also have a new Apple Podcast review. So if you have no money and you want to help us out, simply go to Apple Podcast and give us 5 stars and write us a nice review. We'll read it on the air, give you old shout out and a toot of the air horn. Which is very loud, but here we go. Words Escape Me by Jared Nash Vegas Johnson. All right. When it comes to Heffron and Reep, only 3 words come to mind. These guys know how to tell funny jokes and make me laugh out loud. Last night, after my monkeypox shots wore off after Grandma gave me 2, I couldn't help but remember how lucky I am. God bless America. Oh, well, thank you, Jared Nash Vegas Johnson. There you go. All righty then. Now, this is where I would normally read comments from last week, but we weren't here last week because both Heffron and I were not feeling great. I feel it's still lingering with me, but, we're a trooper. So I can't read comments from last week because we didn't do a show last week. So here we go. I see JJ Brent, Andrew Ramirez. He says, I'm going to Fort Worth again. I'll dye my hair ginger. There you go, Andrew. Dude, Andrew, I love this guy. He always, most of the time, shows up to my shows in either Dallas or Fort Worth. I've known the guy forever. Good. I hope to see you again, brother. Joey Ellis, can we do a ginger-friendly show in Salt Lake City? Yes, Joey Ellis. I would love to do that. It's called Wise Guys is the name of the comedy club there in Salt Lake City. Send them an email, demand me, and I'll get back there. Carrie Eisenhower Linton says, I remember Annabelle's inside Valley Hills Mall. Been there many times, and yes, that was one of the places in Hickory where if you were not 21, you could still sneak a beer here and there. They weren't too strict about the checking the ID and whatnot. So I miss me some Annabelles. All right. Well, listen, we have a guest host, not just me. All right. I bring people to the show. And this guy, one of my good friends, very funny guy. If you've seen me live anywhere in the country, there's a good chance you've seen this guy as well. Clocks in around 6 feet 7 inches tall. You know him. You love him. I'm talking about my special guest, my very good friend, Brent Blakeney, special guest. Oh. Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
How
I
you
don't know if I needed
doing?
that whole. That was a very digital,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tron. Like I thought, like, oh, are we gonna have to
Yeah.
race hyperbikes or
We're
something?
going to have to throw like electronic frisbees at each other and race
Oh my
hyperbikes.
gosh, yeah.
What a great movie that was, too. Ahead of its time, Tron. Yeah, and you're one of these guys. What you're not. See here, I'm 50, so that
Mhm.
makes me a Gen X.
Yes,
You are how old and what
36,
generation would that make you?
which I'm a mid millennial.
Mm.
So I came from the weird generation that like we knew life before and after internet technology. Like
Mhm.
we still like had all that stuff like growing up, like you know, playing outside. Remember when that
Yeah.
was a thing?
How old were you when the internet was introduced into your life?
See, that's interesting because my dad, he came from a very tech savvy and heavy background. So
Mhm.
like I feel like I had the internet early in our house just because he was like super into it.
Gotcha.
Like we had Prodigy, AOL, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. But I mean, but like I also like at the same time when I was 18, yeah. So my freshman year of college, when you still had to have a college email address to get Facebook, I was there.
Okay. So you were a freshman in college, but you were probably introduced to it, what would you say? Maybe you were 13 or 10
Oh,
or
yeah, 9, 10,
9, 10?
somewhere
Okay.
in there. I mean,
See,
I
I
wasn't really like
remember.
I wasn't allowed to go on it because my
Yeah.
dad also understood like
Yeah.
how it was. But yeah,
Well,
I
all
mean,
that being said, you're still, a lover of the 80s. Like when we go out,
yes,
we hang out, we always
yeah.
sing 80s songs, karaoke. You like Tron, you like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a good time in
I mean, Back to
Orlando.
the Future. The first Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
classic. And that's still to this day one of the best movies ever. I mean,
Yeah.
it never gets it never gets like old or outdated, even though it's back
Yes.
to the future, which is still.
Yes.
Wait, what was the future? What year was the future? Do you remember? I can't remember.
Well, okay, so in the
Oh, it was
first
2000
one,
or 10, wasn't it?
2000,
I can't remember.
yeah. So the first one, it was in 1985, and they went back to 1955. And then the
that's
second
right.
one, they went forward to 2012.
Oh yeah.
I think
So all of it,
2012. Yeah,
all of it is in the
10
past.
years ago.
Yeah. Oh, JJ Brent would know. He's watching. He says 2015.
2015.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That 5 looks like a 2, so I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you for filling in, buddy. I like your background. Are you at a
Thank
like
you.
a
I
yeah,
am
where
in
is this?
yeah, it's this is my apartment with the pool that I stay at whenever I have my green screen up. So
It looks cool. Yeah, it looks like one of them home 2 suites that you're in the lobby of a home 2 suites. What are you up to this weekend? What have you been up to? I mean, I haven't seen
Oh,
you. Let's see here. Last
since
time I saw you was Orlando, right?
yeah, it was Orlando.
Yeah.
Just been doing a lot of local stuff. Shout out real quick to Mystic Distillery in Durham, North Carolina. If any the chat lives.
Give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do people love air horns so much? They do, though. It's just fun.
Yeah.
What happened was somewhere around 2000 or maybe late 90s, it was in a song, like a boat horn. Like a like, and it just became, oh, we got to bring that back.
Yeah. Or it's like you go to like a professional sporting event and you're like, oh, I can take that thing home with me. Like I can make those noises at home and annoy my family. Like I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just did Mystic Distillery. It's a show that I run the first Friday of every month. Love to have you out there eventually. We'll talk about it. But
well, sure, if I'm ever that way, that what night is it on?
It's the first Friday of every month.
Third Friday of every month? First Friday every month. If you're in Raleigh.
Yes. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, come out. And then actually what's interesting, well, maybe to you and me, this weekend I'm up in Richmond, Virginia at the New Comedy Club.
Oh, what do you mean the New Comedy Club?
There's a new comedy club. So you and I have done the Funny Bone in Richmond a couple times, but there's a new one like downtown called Sandman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the old like Bank of Virginia building. It's a really cool space, and I'm going up there this weekend. So
okay, you headlining?
I'm not. I think I'm just opening. It's kind of that first like, hey, here's my foot in the door, and then we're gonna talk. Past that.
Yeah.
Well, how was were you Kentucky a couple nights ago with Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah, Friday night, drove up there. I mean, first of all, they just got hit really bad with rain and
floods, yeah.
So when I drove up there, I didn't see much of it because I was on the interstate for a lot of it. But on the way back, like I decided to take the scenic route because I kind of it was only like 40 minutes more, and I thought I would like check out the sites, and it was bad. I mean, it looked like an F4 hurricane or tornado leveled the place, and the water had got back down to normal levels, but you could see things wrapped around the trees, like just random things from inside of homes just wrapped around a tree, and it's just muddy and nasty. So all that being said, and the show was outdoors at a place called the Barnyard.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is nice, but it's just muddy and nasty. So it was kind of, and it rained that day before the show started. So that did not help.
Yeah.
Attendance, but Larry was cool. We had a great time. Smoked cigars with him afterwards and just shot the breeze. And he gave me some inside baseball knowledge about managers and agents and the history between them and Ron White and Bill Lingville and all of it. Jeff Foxworthy. He played me a voicemail. Dude, he played me a voicemail from an old agent that they had all shared. Right. And like two of them stayed with the guy and two of them fired him. And they were going like back and forth with this one manager dude.
Right.
And he played me a voicemail. And the level of just ballsy, arrogant douchebaggery that was played that I heard in this voicemail. I'm like, how could you stand this guy?
Was this before or after Blue Collar Comedy Tour, like the DVD? Like, I feel like that was kind of the moment where that took off. So like if you're before that, it's like, okay, I could see somebody kind of being a dick, but like after that, like, no, you don't.
It was after, but I think this dude felt like he helped build it. And then, but I don't want to get too detailed, but all right, hang on. Sure. Jeff Snell, he says, where's Heffron? He's in Spain. He's in, Toledo, Spain right now. And he told me to tell you, Jeff, he doesn't care about you. He's not here. I'm here. Brent Blakeney is here at 627 Comedy. No, I'm just kidding.
He's not in Toledo, Kansas, and he's just saying it's Spain.
Right. There's a Toledo in Ohio he could be at. No, but he said he was going to Spain. So yeah, Jeff, it's me and Brent tonight. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about a couple of things.
Let's do it.
Sadly, Olivia Newton-John passed away today.
That is true.
Ripe old age.
Wait, why would I say it like it wasn't true? You're
like
making
he's
that
confirming
up.
it. Yeah. Yes. It's been confirmed. There she is, the beautiful Olivia Newton-John. And God, she was 73. She has been battling breast cancer. Well, back in the 90s, she had survived breast cancer.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. It's been a couple decades. She's been
off and
back
on
forth
again,
with
where
it.
she would beat it and then it'd come back and beat it. And this time it was like in her spine.
Mm-hmm.
And it took her at 73. She will be missed. One of the classic all-time best-looking singers. Yeah, I mean, that's the first singer-songwriter I had a huge crush on as like a kid growing up. I mean, I loved her, and of course, everyone loved Grease.
Yes.
But Xanadu.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up.
I got to bring up Xanadu. Movie not so great. Movie does not hold up. Soundtrack, I'll put it up against any soundtrack. But this is how much I loved her. I was in her fan club. Like the first fan club that you could join before the internet. You had to like find a magazine with information on it about how to join a fan club, send in a letter and dues.
Dues.
Yeah,
what were do you remember what the dues were?
I don't, because my mom paid for it. And, it was a long time ago. It's probably like $20 or something. But I was a member of. Me and my brother were both members of her fan club. So much that, and we got like a 8x10 headshot of her sent in the mail, and a little personalized letter and a certification like you were in the fan club and all that stuff. And yeah, I just knew one day I was going to marry her.
Do you think you still have it?
No, I doubt it. I mean, I would not know where that thing is today. But yeah, what say you, Brent Blakeney? What's your?
I mean,
give me some Olivia Newton-John talk.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like my biggest thing was Grease, just because of. Well, I mean, you were kind of too, like being a theater kid in high school, and when I was in high school, we did a production of Grease, so like I watched it probably. Yeah. Even as an extra.
I would love to have seen you. 6 feet 7 inch Brent Blakeney. Were you that tall in high school as well?
I was. I probably hit this height like 15. So late 15 freshman, early sophomore year, like I kind of peaked at my height.
Do you remember who you played in Grease?
Do you remember just an extra? Yeah. I was just like, I mean, it was high school production. They're like, well, all these people auditioned. And I got, as a theater kid, like I got good roles in just straight plays, like The Crucible, like I was a bigger part, but like anytime it was a musical, I can't sing. Like, I don't know.
The non-straight plays.
Yes.
The
musical.
That not
I don't know
straight.
If you're aware, but like you carry us during karaoke. So I feel like that kind of tells you everything you need to know. But yeah, I was just an extra in Grease, but I mean, I probably watched the movie like a ton of times, so that was like my big kind of connection.
And she could sing, I mean, like an angel. She just had this big beautiful eyes, big beautiful smile,
hair,
big beautiful blonde hair, and she could move and dance. Australian.
Okay, good. I was gonna say that, but I was like, is chat gonna
actually born in like England or something, and at the age of 5 her family moved to Australia.
Okay.
So she's Australian, really.
Are you just a member of the fan club, or were you president? Because that's a very specific fact.
I know things. And what else can I tell you? She she had she was married, but before her marriage, she was with a guy who mysteriously disappeared. They said he faked his own death. Do you know about this dude?
No. Please. Go on.
I don't know if it's good to talk about this on the day of her death, but it's been out there for a while. If you look it up, you could just find it. I don't know if they were married. It could have been just a boyfriend, on again, off again boyfriend, but they were pretty serious. Went on a boat trip, and they said that he went missing, and they never found his body. And then they thought, well, he must have died out at sea somehow, accidentally.
According to Laura, this guy's name was Sean. So,
oh yeah, yeah. And so Sean disappears, right,
and pops up now on your podcast.
Here he is, Sebastian,
on Country-ish,
the Southeastern Men of Mystery. That's the one story. That's the one secret we was never able to tell. Sebastian is alive and well, and he's here in Hickory, North Carolina. And he wants to express his condolences today. But no, they say that they've spotted him. Oh yeah.
Wait, found in Mexico? Wow.
In Mexico.
Hang on. Did this just turn into a true crime podcast?
Maybe so.
We're solving mysteries out here.
This is out there. It's just kind of got glossed over.
Here's what needs to happen. We need to just keep doing comedy shows. We need to get a big dog and a van, and we're going to keep this train rolling.
Yeah. Dude, we should do that. I mean, like, I love being funny on stage and stuff, but I also I do love crime and mysteries and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this guy apparently, I mean, maybe snuck off to Mexico. Like there's rumors that he had massive debt and owed a lot of money and back child support from another relationship, obviously, and then was like, I'm bouncing, and faked his death, fell in love with somebody else in Mexico. And now they've said they've seen pictures of this guy in Mexico with his new lady. So, crazy story. Yeah,
but if the picture Alan is showing is of the two of them together, of Olivia and this guy, like that doesn't look like that long ago.
No, right. This was maybe. Well, I wonder what the year is on that. But I feel like it was in the last 10 to 15 years. It's not that old.
Oh, but that feels like something that would be like in the height of her fame, like 1979. And then this guy goes missing. But if like they were just together, like in the 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
If he's alive, she better haunt his sorry ass. I hear you, Laura.
100%, Laura.
Hey, so here's something too, like as a kid, in the 70s, TV was just different, So there's this, Alan, I don't know if I should have sent this to you beforehand. If you can pull this up, I'll give you the exact thing I found. It's Olivia Newton-John. Honestly, Love You, 1974. Okay. This is when they used like heavy, like smoky filters, and everything was just feathery and sweet. And it's a song about how much she honestly loves you.
Yeah.
But it looks and sounds so sad. And I'm like, why are we sad? This is a good thing. You love me. Why is it so sad? But Alan, if you can find that video, and then fast forward it to the part where she says, I love you. I honestly love you. When you watch it now, it looks like now that she's passed away, like she's in heaven. Oh. And she's looking down at us and she's telling you, like, don't be sad. I love you. I'm not lying about it.
This isn't a comedy podcast anymore,
man. I honestly love you.
We're getting, here we go.
This is it. Look how beautiful. I mean, you'll see. This might be her in her prime. This is before Grease and everything else. Gosh. Look at this. Maybe I hang around here a little more than I should. Just the way she's holding the microphone. She's just got it like this. She's being so delicate and like sincere. And she's looking right at the camera the whole time. It's almost like she's breaking up with you. Like it's sad. Tell us, Olivia.
Please.
I want to hear it. Come that will get you right in your heartstrings.
She feels like...
Okay.
It's like this is a weird comparison. She feels like the not country version of Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it still has that same kind of impact of just like, and I don't know, like Dolly, when Dolly was huge, I mean, she's still
Yeah, I
massively
know what you're
famous, but
saying.
like in her prime, that was like the non-country version.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna go. I'm absolutely gonna go check that out later.
And then she actually did dabble in some country.
Okay.
And but let's not forget. Well, see, this is the thing. Maybe this is before your time. You know the song "Let's Get Physical."
Yes.
Now when that video came out,
That was
like
a
this
lot.
was like, ooh,
Yeah.
taboo. Olivia Newton-John is getting X-rated. The girl from Greece.
It's like Miley Cyrus. It's like how Miley Cyrus turned out.
Yeah. Right.
It's like you came out, you're a singer, you're doing this wholesome stuff, and then all of a sudden you're putting out these videos where you're twerking and riding naked on a wrecking ball.
Right. That's exactly what it was like.
I feel like every generation kind of has that.
Yeah, there's a person
yes
that you know as this one thing, and then all of a sudden, like it was Annette Funicelli or whatever from the Disney Mickey Mouse Club, and then all of a sudden she's showing her boobs in some movie, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I grew up, I mean, but like I feel like my generation had like the epitome of that because we had like the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and they came up with these kind of like innocent teenage pop stars, and then all of a sudden, early 2000s, they're just getting physical on their music videos.
Correct. So let's rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John.
Yes.
We love you.
We do.
We honestly love you. Always have. Always will. Let's move on to our next topic.
President of the fan club signing off.
Right. Yeah, I'm handing in my resignation. I'm always going to be a part of the fan club.
Yes.
But let's talk about a couple other dumb things that are in the headlines or whatever. I don't know. It's International Cat Day. Brent, do you have a cat?
No, I had cats growing up, but
Yeah.
I feel like I developed an allergy later in life, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I had cats growing up, but not anymore. I'm not a huge cat guy.
Yeah. I've never owned a cat. I don't hate them. And later in life, I've gotten to where I kind of like them. I like watching random cat videos on TikTok. I think they're fascinating. One of the best docuseries is "Don't F with Cats" on Netflix.
Ooh,
You've seen
that's
that, right?
a whole that's a whole. What's that guy's name?
Oh, I don't remember the guy's name.
Shoot,
Some Canadian dude who's like
I'm gonna look that up.
torturing cats. Oh, real quick,
Cat-
Brenda Sachs wants to know: is Brent going on the cruise? And if I have anything to do with it, Brenda, that's a yes.
Yes.
So, but it's so far away. And I just found this out too. If those of you are just tuning in and who might want to go on the cruise, Johnny Poovey, cruise director guy, tells me they're not checking your vaccine status anymore. So if you never got the shot and you didn't go last year because you didn't want to take the shot, don't worry about it. They're not even going to ask you. You're good. Come on board. Yeah. What are you going to say? What's the guy's name?
Luca Magnotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had heard a podcast about that whole story before I saw the Netflix documentary. So like it was kind of cool to see, like, it wasn't cool, it was horrific, but to like have the kind of visual representation of like the story I kind of already knew about. Dude, that's a wild story.
You heard about this on a podcast before you saw the docuseries?
Yes. There was a podcast. Yeah, there was a podcast. There was a minute when I was like really into like true crime podcasts. It's called Sword and Scale. Chat, if you're listening, it's horrific, like strong stomach kind of stuff. But they told the whole story.
Yeah.
It was pretty much like, the way the documentary on Netflix went from a perspective of the people that were searching for him.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
like a more general, reporting of
Mhm.
Luca Magnotta's story. But like, yeah, like I knew how that ended up. And then watching the documentary, it was like, man, those internet detectives are
Right.
insane.
That's part of the fascinating story of this docuseries. If you don't know what we're talking about, okay, if you love documentaries, true crime docuseries, you got to check out Don't F with Cats.
Yes.
Basically, how do I describe this in a nutshell? There is a video that goes viral. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead, Brent.
Well, I was gonna say it kind of starts with, and it's honestly like an interesting perspective into how we look at celebrity, in my opinion, because it starts with a guy who was willing to do anything to get famous.
Yeah.
Anything.
At the core of this whole thing, it's about that guy and what he did
Yes.
to get famous. Yeah.
Which then, like you were about to say, went into this video.
Yeah. Yeah. So this video goes viral, and these people are like, well, this dude was he basically killed a cat
Yeah.
and released the video. And prior to this, the guy was sort of doing other viral videos to try and get famous. It wasn't working, and then he killed a cat, and then like the whole internet exploded. And it basically, from the docu-series, it's about this one girl's pursuit of him.
Yes.
Really, the girl who lived in Vegas and was like
Mhm.
worked at a casino and was like, I'm gonna find this guy. You think you can hide just because it's the internet and there's no internet police and blah blah blah. And the work that they did as detectives, just as regular people, to
Oh
find
my
this dude,
gosh.
it's pretty
Just looking at-
amazing.
yeah. Like
So,
picture like it's kind of it's kind of crazy like how much like the way they found him logically made sense, and it's kind of insane how much information you can find out just from looking in the
Oh, yeah.
background of pictures.
yeah,
They were like, okay, here's a selfie of him. Let's zoom in on that apartment complex that's behind him.
yeah,
Okay, now let's go to Google Maps and find that apartment complex,
yeah.
turn the picture 180 degrees, and
Yeah.
that's where he lives. And you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. And they took a video and slow it down. There's like a one quick swipe he did of a room when he was just turning around, and they slowed it down. And some guy went frame by frame
Yes.
and found like the cigarettes that were on the table and where they sold these cigarettes. And so there's like, well, it's got to be in Russia or it's got to be here.
Yeah.
Crazy story. Check it out. Happy
Yeah.
International Cat Day. Lisa Savage just wrote on a comment. Can you see these comments, Brent? I'm
I
just
can.
curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, again, great show the other night in Kentucky, Jon, and thanks for signing our shirts that we made. So check this out, Brent.
Okay.
You know, I've done this bit about the river, you know,
Yes.
like we don't say river, R-I-V-E-R. We say R-I, blah, blah, blah. It's got this whole bit about it. And at the end of the bit, I say, I just want to get so rich I can buy 500 jet skis and give it to an old folks home. And then I make up this whole scenario where
I
they're
forgot
like,
about that part.
they're
of it.
terrorizing the river, and they're
Yeah.
gray dolphins, and they got jet skis with wire baskets and a big antenna with a tennis ball flopping around. And so that was just a fun way to end that whole bit about the river. I just sort of like went, fantasy world. And these people made shirts that have like a jet ski with the wire basket and all this stuff, says gray dolphins on it.
That's so funny.
And I'm like, one, I'm flattered as hell. Two, why didn't I think of that
Yeah.
as a merch item?
But like like if you could find a way to like get gray dolphins, and then whoever orders it, they get their name on the back,
Oh yeah,
like a jersey.
right.
I love it.
Yeah. So thank you, Lisa Savage.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Country-ish. That's the podcast I was telling you about. This one's Heffron and Reep, but Heffron's not here. So it's my buddy Brent Blakeney, who is also hilarious in his own right.
Thank you.
I've known forever. He's from Raleigh. He lives in Raleigh, and we met
Yes.
there. But yeah. Let me ask you this. Dave Matthews fan?
I am.
Yeah,
That
me
was-
too.
Right? We don't have to hide in the shadows anymore. You don't have to be
No.
ashamed of this. Stop making fun of him. Look,
Well, I was
not you. I'm not saying,
I was amazed the first time I heard somebody say they didn't like Dave Matthews.
right?
I remember where I was and who said it. And the first time I heard it, I was like, "What? Why? He's awesome."
Yeah.
like,
Thank
I
you,
don't
Sonia
like the way he
Collins.
sounds.
Like coming out here with love, DMB.
Yeah,
He was. I saw him last year in Raleigh. It wasn't the best Dave Matthews show I'd been to, but it was the first concert back after the pandemic. So it was like, oh, wait, what? Call it the pandemic?
I've not heard that yet.
Oh yeah, pandemic, dude. But it was like the
Okay.
first. It was outside at Walnut Creek
Walnut Creek
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater. Yeah,
But it was just like this amazing, like, oh, concerts are back. Like this feels like life again.
yeah. Oh wow. A lot of people weighing in on Dave Matthews. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always loved it. I've seen him probably three or four times,
Okay.
maybe 5. I don't know. Like the first time I heard Satellite, I was in college.
Man,
You know?
I appreciate, as much as I love Dave Matthews, I'm glad that's the song you came out with. Because like I love that song.
Yeah.
And it's not one of his more like when he was getting radio play, I feel like.
Yeah. This is probably like on his comeuppance.
Yes.
Like I was late to the game. So
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
talking when it, according to my other friends in college and all that stuff, the guy from Hickory who never heard of Dave Matthews, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm in, let's go. But yeah, it was cool. He was eclectic. He was funny. It's all this music, all these different sounds and those horns, and you could dance and have a good time,
Mhm.
and it's mostly positive. And so I loved it. It was brand new at the time. Never heard anything like it. The first time I heard Satellite, I'm like, oh yeah. And I got like, I went to the phase where I was wearing corduroy pants from a thrift
Mhm.
store and gray wool socks and Tevas, and I had a little leather beaded necklace that was like a choker. Like I did the whole thing for like three or 4 years, and I was all in. And so I love me some Dave Matthews. But do you know why I'm bringing him up today on this very moment, today, right now?
I have 2 guesses as to why.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an anniversary of something.
Yes.
The first one being when he gave that speech at Farm Aid about cow farts.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Does that real? Or are you making that up?
No. 100%. He went up. I think it was like Farm Aid or... Yeah, I think they were playing Farm Aid. And he's like, the biggest thing with the ozone layer today is cow farts.
Oh, yeah. Wow. How long ago was that?
Oh, late
Because-
90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, and
Either that or
people
the
have kept
Chicago
talking
poop
about it.
incident. Oh, I hate it. Oh,
Dave Matthews tour bus dumped 800 pounds of poop on people taking a Chicago river cruise 18 years ago this very day. Isn't that something? I mean, horrible
800
sightseeing.
pounds?
If you were that day on the Green River, that river in Chicago,
it's not green
and
anymore.
that was when Chicago was nice too. If you did that today, it might be an improvement. Someone might say, "Thank you. I feel cleaner somehow." But yeah, it was a oops poop, says Sonia Collins. Yeah, horrible. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got sued for that, and I think the story was it was a no pun intended, a shitty move on the bus driver's fault. I don't think Dave Matthews cleared it. I think the guy was like,
yes.
we just got to empty this now. Like maybe something happened and he didn't. They just did it real quick.
That's so wild that
I don't think they were trying to.
Yeah.
Target.
Oh, no. I feel like it might be better if they were.
Yeah.
They were like, we got to get rid of this. And there's like, oh, a river cruise. But like, it's weird that like it always promotes Dave Matthews tour bus. It's like, how about bus driver dumps? Like, why does it have to be associated with Dave Matthews?
Right. Well, it's just a better clickbait because it's Dave
yeah.
Matthews. But yeah, I think the people who don't like Dave Matthews love to tell this story, because it's
Yeah.
like, well, look, we told you he's full of shit. Look at it right there.
Dumped
He
800 pounds of it on Chicago River people.
I'm like, I don't think he had anything to do with it. But
Oh,
hey, Mom.
watching.
Betty Reep's watching. Well, I'm happy to know that you've got one of your devices hooked up to the internet, Mom. I helped her today. Today was a crazy day, Brent. My mom's. Well, let's back up.
Okay.
Since Mom likes to weigh in, I will also weigh in. Hey, Mom, I love you. Before I left to go to Chicago, I'm sorry, not Chicago, Kentucky.
Yes.
Bunch of things happen at once. So let's just see here. That would have been Thursday. I left Thursday, but Wednesday night, I'm going to back it up to Wednesday real quick. Wednesday night, me, the Alan Jackson, and Sebastian, we go take a tour of a haunted distillery in Mount Pleasant. Okay. And we're going to do it as a segment or a story for Country-ish. We're there filming this stuff, and it is hot. Okay. It is a hot day. It's a hot night. We're in old buildings built in the 1900s that have no air conditioning, and we were just sweating. And it's not really going that great, by the way. So, and then I get a text from my mom. Hey, I don't know when are you coming home? Because I don't know what's going on with the air condition. I was really cold. It was on 69, so I bumped it up to 71, and now it's stuck on 85 degrees, and the heat is on. I'm like, what? And it was funny to me that she was complaining about being too hot, and we were like drenched in sweat inside of a heat box in some prison. I go home. I don't know what she did. Something happened. So no air conditioning that night. So the next morning, when I'm supposed to leave for Kentucky, we have to deal with the air conditioning guy coming to the house. Okay. No pun intended. Septic tank guy coming to the house.
Dave Matthews bus driver. Got it.
And then Mom's getting her windshield replaced in the driveway. Okay. All three of these things happening at one time, and I can't leave until I know it's okay.
And then, like, speaking as somebody who does what you do, like the other half of it, you're like, I gotta go.
I know. This whole time
I got a show tonight.
And the guy who's working on the air conditioning, I don't know if I think they just hired him. Like he was walking, he's like, oh, you guys have, he goes, it's on 85. I go, yeah. That's why we called you. So apparently it's one of these newer models, and my dad hooked it up, and he didn't tell me how to work it, but it's got all these different functions that you can do, and it's got like a schedule and all kinds of stuff. And somehow it got locked on the 85 and we couldn't get it off. And he comes in and goes, it's on 85. I go, I'm gonna kill you. And so it took him forever to figure out how to fix this thing. Anyway, so then it's like, okay, everything's fixed. I got to hit the road, Mom.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, good. I'm leaving too. And we walk out to our cars together. I'll say, see you Sunday or whatever, Saturday.
Yeah.
Get in my car and drive away. She gets in her car. I get, I don't know, a little bit down the road. I stop by the studio. I got some things I got to get here. And I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot my laptop bag. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, crap, I get back in my car. I drive back to the house. Now I'm pissed because I'm going back, right? I'm supposed to be on the road 3 hours ago, and it's going to be raining. So I'm like, let me go back. And I go back to the house.
And it already happened.
Dude, check this out. I'll pull in the driveway thinking that no one was good. My mom is still sitting in her car, and the lights are on. I'm like, what is she still here? I've been gone 15 minutes. And I pull in, and she's on her phone. She's like, I don't know. The guy who fixed the windshield, he pulled my emergency brake up, and I can't get it down. And I'm like, who are you on the phone with? Who's it? Your call? Why didn't you call me? And she, I guess she felt so bad that all these other things happened on the same day that she didn't want to bug me one last time. And then her phone today, it's been an ordeal, Brent. So, hey, Mom, I love you. But I had to get her a new phone. Apparently, she went to church, turned her phone off, couldn't turn it back on. It got fried. We try to
Oh.
get that fixed today. Go to a place, and then maybe it's just a battery. Guy's like, yeah, I can fix that for you. Come back in 2 hours. And then we go back. He's like, nope, can't do it. But he told me one thing and told her another. It was a whole ordeal. I digress. But yeah, I don't know how we got on that subject. Oh, I know what it was. Now you love Marvel comic movies. You're a big fan of the whole metaverse, all that stuff, right?
I'm
That's
into
fine.
it.
I mean, I love
yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I love some of it, but I had to
I
at some point
just-
I had to put my foot down.
Yeah, I always hesitate to like say that because like I do like the MCU and all that stuff, but like I'm not a comic book guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like I
right.
kind of like you kind of keep that in because you say like you kind of pop out of your hole for a minute. And you're like, hey, that Guardians of the Galaxy, like get on our Guardians, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. I didn't read all the comic books from 1986. I enjoy these Chris Pratt movies because they're fun. But yeah.
Well, they're making a Pac-Man movie. They're going to make an live action movie based on Pac-Man. I feel like we've been there, we've done this, we've tried it, and I don't
What?
understand the need
Wait.
for this.
What?
Pac-Man, the video game.
Yeah, I mean, like there's okay. Like there's certain levels of like video game and comic book movies I can understand because like the story is already there. What's the story? Please. Hey, John, real quick, give me the elevator pitch of the Pac-Man movie.
Okay, check this out. I know I've only got 15 seconds. There's a yellow disc, and his mouth does this.
Go on.
He eats dots. He's got to eat dots.
Okay.
But there are these ghosts that can kill him unless he eats a big dot.
So it's like a horror movie.
It's a horror movie, but he's in a maze. And he's confused. It's kind of like Children of the Corn, but he's eating like Cocoa Puffs, and he's being chased by haunted ghosts that look like just a sheet in the air, just hovering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see their legs, and they're obviously wearing jeans under the sheets.
Oh nope! You just see like it's like a sheet, like on a big round head. It's got eyes.
Yeah.
And they're after him for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, and spinoff, he has a wife. That's in the future. And
No,
he has
he
a whole
doesn't.
family.
No, he does because it's Miss.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Has a mistress or a sister. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
no, they were in love. They were in love.
We've been on my floor for the last at least 45 seconds, but I am the president of Paramount, and you have a script. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I feel like they can make.
Pac-Man?
Here's the thing. I remember when I heard that they were going to make a Lego movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember thinking, that's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Why and how are you going to make a movie about blocks that you stick together? It was I liked that when I was a kid for a year, and I was done with it. How could you possibly make this good? And they did.
They did. Oh, you're right.
So I don't,
Transformers, the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going on a lot of it. Hey, robots in disguise. We get it. First Transformers was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they could do GoBots too. Are you too young for GoBots?
I feel like
did they weave that story into Transformers at all? I don't know.
I don't know.
The Alan Jackson. I'm wondering if you could wait. Wait, read this comment. Cubert. They got to make a Cubert movie. Wow. That's true. We got to do a Cubert movie. The Alan Jackson, do you know anything about GoBots and Transformers?
You're asking me if I know anything about GoBots and their relationship to the Transformers.
Yes, sir.
No, I don't.
All right.
Okay.
I was not in the Transformer GoBot generation. So
we're the same age, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, my brother was like 3 or 4 years younger. I think it was
Yeah.
kind of big for him, but I don't remember it being big for
I was
us.
immature. You're right. There is. I was. I probably kept watching cartoons for too long. I remember liking G.I. Joe and He-Man and Transformers at a time where I felt like I should be chasing girls.
Oh,
I remember
right.
thinking like, I gotta do something here.
God, I got a history
all
class
used
at
to-
8 a.m. in college, but I'm watching this cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all worried about you, John, back in school. We're like, is he still watching cartoons?
Is he making an NC State Wolfpack Transformer? I feel like that's
John, come over for this party. We got a bunch of girls coming over. We're gonna play spin the bottom. Like, what time? What time is if GoBots is on? I don't know.
Hey, look, Transformers comes on at 8:30 on Saturday. I gotta be up. So
yeah, okay. I had to check in with you, Alan, because I didn't know if it was just me.
I think GoBots was before Transformers.
Okay,
but I didn't know it. They're not connected in any way.
Gotcha. All right.
I think one ripped off the other one.
I think that's Transformers ripped off
Go.
GoBots. Okay, thank you, the Alan Jackson. All right,
Sure.
we gotta start to our. Oh, Alexa's talking to me.
okay,
we gotta start.
I want to bring up one more
Yeah.
movie thing.
Please do.
So, like we talked about, we're fans of the 80s. Did you see the news that they're I'm trying not to get angry as I say this. They're remaking Roadhouse
Yeah.
with Jake Gyllenhaal. Who
Yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sure.
Do you think there's a point where like we're starting to hit movies where like it's almost sacred. You can't remake it.
Yes. I'm on the fence with this one particularly.
Yeah, this is where I'm starting to teeter.
Okay, good.
Yeah, where it's like this, like Roadhouse is such a movie and such a like cult classic in its own right. It's like, don't touch it. Don't try to.
Yeah. There are certain movies I feel like that are character driven, star driven, that there's no way you should touch it. And then there are certain movies that are just such a cool story. It would be neat to see it retold in today's climate and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And it was okay, but the characters could be replaceable or updated. But you're right. I mean, come on, dude. Like, I feel that way about Ghostbusters. That's character driven. They shouldn't have done that. What they did, they tried it with the girls, didn't work out so good. Then they went in the prequel, which is fine if you move the timeline.
Yes.
Right.
Did you watch Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I did. I liked it.
I did too. It was like it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Same here.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good movie. I saw it on a plane. I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. And they didn't. And they weaved in. This was the kid of
yeah.
So
I guess it's weird. Like, what is going to be the story of Roadhouse? Because if they try to do just a 1-to-1, like reimagining, I'm not down. But if like Jake Gyllenhaal is like Dalton,
right, like
kid, like
right,
maybe.
That's the thing. I agree with you. If they're going off on another tangent, another timeline, and maybe there's relation, that's why Top Gun for me worked as well.
Oh God, I
Have
haven't seen it. I need to.
Yeah,
everybody talks about it.
It's great.
Okay, next question.
Yeah,
and this is for you and me and the chat. But if they were to remake Roadhouse, give me one bar you and I have been to on the road that you think the movie should be set at.
The Silver Bullet in Hickory, North Carolina. It's also known as Wayno's. The only thing it's missing is a mechanical bull. They have everything else. They got the pool tables.
Yeah.
They've got the stage where a performer could sing, and you could even put the chicken wire up if you want to get behind it. They've got ladies with big hair. They got dudes with sleeveless shirts and big old fat rednecks who could do kata with a pool cue if they felt like it. But yeah, I'm on the fence. I want to see the story. From what I've heard, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. It's what's the MMA fighter?
Conor McGregor.
who can he act?
We're
Can he
gonna find
talk?
out. I guess we're
Yeah.
gonna can he talk?
I mean,
We're
have
gonna
you
find
seen
out.
his Irish whiskey commercials? I can't
Yeah,
even understand what he
yeah.
says half the time there. But yeah, I need more information before I
Yeah.
judge. I need more information. But yeah,
I
you
would
cannot
go-
do. You can't. It's hard to because Patrick Swayze is such a
Yes.
bigger than life character. Any movie with him
Yes.
is going to be hard to duplicate.
Yeah.
So it's very
I
touching.
mean, they
but go ahead.
tried like a sequel to Dirty Dancing with like
Yeah.
what was it called?
No, I know. I
Havana
don't know who
Nights
it
or
is.
something like that. And it just wasn't like
Can't even remember who it
topping
was.
Swayze.
That and then okay, so here's another one. And people my age or maybe a little older will agree, I'm sure, or can appreciate this. The movie Arthur with Dudley Moore. Dudley Moore is such a character in this movie. It's him who makes the movie. And then they try to do it with
Russell
the
Brand.
English, who I think is great too.
Me too.
This movie-
100%.
But this movie was not good.
Yep.
The second Arthur, not good. So to answer your question, need more information on
Yes.
that one.
I would set the new Roadhouse at that karaoke bar in Jacksonville, Florida that we go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it kind of has it's the same
Yeah.
same kind of vibe. Like it's the stage to the dance floor to the counter to
Yeah.
the bar.
Yeah. And they've
Yeah.
got that side area that seems like it's VIP, but it's not. It's kind of it's lit by bar lights.
Yes.
And they've got the bar in the middle, and they've got this other area where there's darts.
But then that whole like the way you get in is still behind
Yeah.
like a fence.
Yeah.
You
Well,
like
that would
walk
be a
in the
good
front
one.
door, and then there's like wooden wall and a fence that you have to give your ID to walk around back to the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
Go back to
can I tell a
Jacksonville.
story? Can I tell a story about
Please.
that? I remember you.
Wait, hang on. Wait, what's what's the story?
I remember you thinking that we were in the hotel still.
It was my birthday.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
That's funny though. It's a funny story.
It's very funny.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
my
we
birthday.
went.
Yes.
Brent and I love doing karaoke,
Yes.
and if there's a place that we can do karaoke after the show, and this was, by the way, I'm talking 7 years ago, 5 years ago.
2017.
I
5
mean,
years ago.
we were
Yep.
both even had more energy back then. Now it's like, I mean, today I'm pretty boring to be around, Brent. I'm sorry.
No, dude, I have the same amount. Like the last 6 months, year that we've been on the road. Like
Yeah.
after the shows, we're like, hey, people are going, and we're like, or we could go
get
to
food
bed.
and
We
go
could get
pass
food
out.
and go to bed.
Yeah. So now I love doing that. But this was, we went to a karaoke bar real close to the hotel, but not the hotel. People there, they love us. They're handing us drinks. We're having a good time.
And it's
Drinks
my
are-
birthday,
it's
so
your
like I'm
birthday.
getting
People are buying him shots,
yes.
and now it's time to go. And I remember Brent going like, I'm gonna go up to the room, buddy. I'm like, what do you mean up to the room? You're like, I'm done. Go ahead, going up to the room upstairs. I'm like, you're not in the hotel. We're not. There's no room to go. This is a separate building, and I had to get you out of there. But yeah, that was a fun conversation. But yeah, that
What's so
bar
weird is
would
like I
be
just
good.
remember that conversation because you were like, I was like, I'm gonna go up to my room, and you're like, we're not at the hotel, and I was like, oh, but I'm gonna go, and you're like, yeah, you got a minute. Like,
So you probably thought I was joking when I laughed at you.
yeah, I mean, it was a
But,
whole.
but
it was
can I say too? It's how hard it is for a 5'10" guy trying to get a 6'7" guy out of there into a car, an Uber, and back to the hotel when you're convinced that you're already at the hotel.
Yeah.
It's hard. I got you.
Oh,
Let's do one more thing, and we'll start our dismount. What do you say?
all right, sounds good.
Anything you want to plug real quick?
Ooh, I mean, if you're watching and you're in Richmond, come to Sandman this weekend. Gosh, other than that, What's
Follow
the next
him.
time?
Follow him
me.
on
Yeah.
social media
So
at 67 Comedy.
my little tag. That's where you can find me. And I guess, I mean, if I'm going to plug things, the next time we're together is going to be Phoenix.
Oh, have you been to Phoenix before?
I've sprinted through their airport trying to make a flight, but I have not been like in the city proper.
I haven't been to Phoenix in quite a while. I think you're gonna love it. It's one of those. It's hot always. It's hot everywhere right now, so it's not gonna matter.
It's gonna be a dry heat.
So it's a dry heat, but it's a good atmosphere. I forgot which club we're going to, but they're all
Live.
great. Yeah. We're gonna have a good time. Come see us there. Come see us in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Well, guess what else happened on this very day in 1988? Anything
I don't
you can
know.
think of? All right.
Hit me.
Something hits the mainstream. NWA, straight out of Compton.
The album drops
in 1988. It's the top-selling hip-hop album of all time. The top-selling before this was Run DMC's Raising Hell and the Beastie Boys' License to Ill. Both released in 87 and both selling millions without ruffling many feathers. In June 1988, Public Enemy released its It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, an album that broke new ground both musically and lyrically with its richly layered aggressive sound and its angry political, I'm just reading this, conscious content. These aren't my words.
No, I thought you were making it up. I loved it.
Yet even Public Enemy were dwarfed commercially by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh.
Whose kid-friendly
Parents just don't
single,
understand.
That's right. And albums, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, were both top 5 hits that same summer. The group that would truly revolutionize hip-hop was NWA, with Blank with Attitude. I'm not allowed to say this word.
N-words
Blank with Attitude. N-words with Attitude, whose debut album, Straight Outta Compton, was released August the 8th, 1988. I had this album. I was down with it, dude. There was a period where I had the Raiders jacket, the Raiders hat. I had a buddy who drove a Suzuki Sidekick, and we were little gangsters, dude. And
you really did. You had like an Oakland.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was hard for a minute, like from about. Well, this is 88. Okay. So by the time it got to Hickory, is probably around 89.
2000. Oh, no.
But it took a minute before the internet for things to trickle down to other places.
Wow.
And it was 1989, and it was me, my buddy Kent Stamey, Scott Essery, Mark.
Is this where Cosmic Force ended up?
Cosmic Force was before this.
Okay.
That was more about dancing. Like, this is about being hard and and getting yours before they get, I got to get mine before you get yours.
Yeah.
I had the chain. It was hard. Like, we're just picking fights with people. Just hard.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of times in my life where I'm very, very glad cell phones and like iPhone cameras didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
The story you're telling me right now, I'm so sad they didn't exist.
I agree with both of those points. But I'll tell you this, maybe this would be a good way to end this segment. I mean, this whole podcast. Yeah. By the way, go to heffronandreep.com. Help us out.
Yeah.
Check me out tomorrow night on this very channel with Country-ish. Let me get the Alan Jackson up in here. We'll all three in this.
Make sure you rate and review Small Town News. That is in no way related to me, but you guys get
it. Yes. I have Brent does help out with Country-ish. He helps the Small Town News segment. I have outsourced it to guys, I need to find these stories. And I got Brent, I got Elliot, and they help out. Now the Alan Jackson. Mm-hmm. You're the same age as me. We graduated together.
We did.
Let's talk about NWA. First time you heard it, where were you? Were you down? You was in high school.
No.
No.
I was way out of the
Yeah.
rap world
Yeah.
for a long. Actually, I don't think I ever quite made it in there, even like 30 years later.
But do you remember
Sorry.
it being a thing, or or is this like
I remember Run DMC. I remember
Yeah.
Run DMC's album getting big. I was not in the loop on NWA.
What about?
I wasn't hanging with the cool kids at the time, so
Yeah.
I was,
Okay, what about 2 Live Crew?
Oh.
I do remember 2 Live Crew.
Now,
Yeah.
see,
I remember that was the tape that we listened to in my car on the way home from school that we all knew we weren't really supposed to
Yeah.
listen to, but
Yeah.
you know,
Run DMC
did,
was like, it
and,
sounded hard because they're rapping
Yeah.
like this and they're beating like that.
right.
But they're really just saying like, I'm the best. I like to dance and I like Adidas, But they weren't talking about killing cops and treating
No.
women like hoes and
Yeah,
the lyrics got really crazier as time went on. Run DMC sounded mean. 2 Live Crew and NWA, that was straight up.
I was more of Fat Boys level.
The Fat Boys are back. They could never be whack. I remember the Fat Boys. That guy who could do the beatbox. Yes, Brent.
So
Yeah,
my
he was
question,
great.
just real quick,
Mhm.
as if you guys graduated at the same time, did they play this at school dances?
No.
No.
What did they play?
Mm-mm. Oh God.
Vanilla.
A lot of Def Leppard.
Yeah.
I remember a
Hmm.
lot of Def Leppard we got played at our junior, senior.
Is that where the bit came from?
dances?
Probably. I mean, that Def Leppard was big. That was Garth
What else?
Brooks
What-
at the time was just come out.
Yeah.
Like Friends in Low Places was big. You had was it Milli
I
Vanilli
remember a
that
lot of-
time? Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, Milli Vanilli had come out.
Yeah.
We actually had some school dances at Wayno's. Do you remember that, John?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
Did you,
There was a
did you
lot of
still bring your own liquor in a
AC/DC
brown
played.
bag?
Probably
I'm
that
sure.
was done. Yeah.
I'm sure some people did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember a lot of AC/DC,
Yeah.
even though that was older music, but it was still played in our high school function.
And they
for
were
some
making
reason.
newer
And,
music back then at that time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the best. I love it.
But I
They
remember
didn't play a lot of rap stuff at Fred T. Ford High school events.
if they did, it was Will Smith. It was DJ Jazzy
Okay.
Jeff. Parents just don't understand. If they were playing
not-
anything like that at all, it was something
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
But
Or what's it? It Takes Two.
it takes 2 to make a thing go rawhide.
Yeah.
It
that was
takes 2
big.
to make it out
Yeah.
of sight. Still one of
Yeah.
the best dance songs of all time. It's right up there with "Push It" by Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, that was another one.
That was a big one.
Mhm.
Now, the Alan Jackson. I remember. Bruce McNeely.
Mhm.
I remember sitting
Yes.
in his car. Like I think he had a nice sports car or something. And we were leaving football practice or maybe leaving some dance. And he's like, man, if you heard this, you got to listen to this. And he put like 2 Live Crew in there. I was like, what? How is this legal? Like I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
believe that was, Humpty Dance was
the
big.
Humpty Dance. Yeah.
Oh, love the Humpty Dance. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Good.
So, that was.
I listened to that song recently. Have you listened to the Humpty Dance recently?
Yeah,
not
Song?
recently, but I know every word to it pretty much.
Well,
Yeah,
because the front man passed
I didn't
away.
read. I didn't read into the lyrics as much as I probably should have back in high school. But reading them now,
Oh, yeah.
there's
My
a
bo-
lot going on
My
there. in
nose
those
is
lyrics.
big
It's,
as the
yeah.
pickle. I'm still getting laid. I get paid by the ladies and laid by the ladies, and know I'm in charge. Both how I'm living and my nose is large. And
Yeah.
he
Like
got
his nose. His nose is able to do things.
yeah.
Funky. He likes his oatmeal lumpy.
He's sick with
Yeah.
this.
He once got busy in a Burger King bathroom.
And I remember me and my buddy Andrew Keane would change that to Chick-fil-A bathroom because I worked at a Chick-fil-A.
Right.
And there was a time I changed clothes with a girl in the Chick-fil-A bathroom. Shout out Stephanie.
Was she a redhead?
Strawberry blonde, mostly blonde. But there was a redheaded
All right.
girl that. Go ahead.
No, we'll talk about it.
Come on, man.
Remember,
It's for the
'Cause remember, I
Patreon. It's for the Patreon.
That's right, for the after dark. Because remember, I worked in the food court the same time you did. I worked at the hot dog stand across the food court from where you were at Chick-fil-A. And I went out with a girl from Chick-fil-A that was a redheaded girl for a little while.
Did she have braces?
All that. Didn't everybody back then? I mean, I kind of feel like that was a common thing.
Was she short-ish?
Probably.
All girls are short. These are all trick questions. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. She was very cute, very sweet.
Yeah.
And I think I went to the prom with her prom.
Oh, you know what? I think you did. Yeah, I went out with her a couple times. Like, I can't remember if it was before or after you.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I went to 4 proms, Brent Blakeney.
Hey, no, here's the thing. I was going to say, Jon was cool enough to go to different proms.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't go with the prom queen of those schools.
No. But like,
I was asked.
I feel like, yeah, it's still a thing. Like, if you go to another school's prom.
Yeah. I went to my junior senior prom. Okay. So that's 2. And I was asked to that girl's prom, the redheaded girl. It was some tabernacle school, maybe.
Okay.
Or it wasn't like one of the Catawba Valley. It was some other.
Not one of the public schools.
Right. It was. And then I went to I think it was a East Burke one or something. But
I went to a Hickory High one as well.
Oh, yeah. So how many proms did you go to?
3.
Oh, okay.
2 Fred T. Fords, 1 Hickory High.
And what year were you at the Hickory High one? What were you, a junior or senior?
It was our senior year. So yeah.
So you had went to 2 proms that same year. Did you rent a separate tux or use the same tux?
Same tux.
Yep. You just got to know. I got to keep it. Like, I can't return it. You call them up.
Like I told the girl who asked me to the Hickory High prom, I'm like, well, I hope your dress is this color because this is the tuxedo in Cumberland I will be wearing.
That's so good.
I hope you're cool with wearing seafoam green. Okay, Alan. Well, thanks, guys. I had a good time up in here, man. And Brent Blakeney, huh? Thank you, buddy. Always love you.
Can I tell one prom story real fast?
Oh, please.
My junior prom, I didn't go, but I was a busboy at a restaurant that was fancy enough that a lot of prom people went to. So I was working the night. All my classmates came to the restaurant.
No, this sounds like a scene from Karate Kid.
This is season 5 of Cobra Kai. It's going to be in there. I've talked to.
Did you
the writers.
Have to bust their tables and wait on them and stuff?
I didn't wait, but like I was definitely in the restaurant, and there were classmates wearing tuxes and prom dresses that I walked by.
Did they see you?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's hard not.
I made it awkward. I made it awkward. Where do you think all this comedy comes from?
Did you see a certain girl that you were like?
No,
you said no to me or something like that.
You said you weren't going.
There's a level of me.
You were sick.
There's a level of me that, in hindsight, should have said that to every girl I saw. At the, like every one of them, just like, you told me you weren't gonna go,
right? Yeah.
And then immediately turn around to another table. You told me you were gonna go. Like, that would be so funny. Anyway, that was just a memory that was brought up when you guys were talking.
Well, it's funny that we're talking about proms. We are going to do a second chance prom in Hickory in April. I want you there, Brent.
Okay.
So what the idea is, maybe your first prom when you were in high school, first proms didn't go the way you wanted it to, but you look good in that tux. Go ahead and rent the same tux you got from one of your proms. Show up.
I've still got mine.
I would have to get I have 4 different proms. I can't remember which one.
You got to get all white.
I'll do the all white tux,
and we have to find you.
That Camaro. Yeah, an 82 Camaro. What we're going to do, and I'm really thinking about raising money for a charity and opening it to the public, charging $5, $10. We're going to do it during prom season. So we're going to steal thunder from the kids who are actually doing proms.
Yes.
And it's going to be for us. And we're going to have a red carpet We're gonna have fake TMZ. We're gonna get like a whole like it's a red carpet movie event we're going to. We'll have old pictures of us from our original prom blown up just in the event space. We'll have a DJ. We'll have food. We'll have a prom king and queen. We'll play music from the 80s, 90s, whatever it was. And we will make our prom. We will take ownership of our prom situation.
I love this idea so much.
That will be sometime in April. I think I have a date for it. I want to say it's April 8th. It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to some people in town for renting a space. We're going to make it happen, and the money we'll give the money to like local charity here, like Red Cross or Salvation Army or something. All right. Thanks again, Brent Blakeney. Thank you, the Alan Jackson, for zooming in and making this happen, even though you got the COVID. And I just want to tell you I love you all. And you come on back here tomorrow night for Country-ish and rate, review, subscribe, and share. And I'm just going to have Rick Sanford III take us out. You know, he loves this show. He's a good Patreon supporter. Take us out, Rick Sanford III. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the smooth sounds of Heffron and Reep. The show is over, but come back next week, same Reep time, same Heffron channel, for more comedy conversations, music, 80s church, and the life and times of a quarantine comedian. Always expect the unexpected, and who knows where the conversations will go. And as always, remember to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Peace.